Okay, a couple of things today. Some new bits have arrived from these guys, TR Racing. They weigh absolutely nothing, and they're for mounting the fuel pump and fuel filter on the ZX7R. And I'll be doing that when I get around doing the shop, potentially, maybe not sooner. Just got to show you those. Lovely guys, no sponsorship, all paid for. What I'd like to go through today is my plans to do the clutch conversion, which I've mentioned in a previous video. So, I've already shown you it. I think I've shown this one in a short. I've got these bits from Dunbar Racing. Extremely well made. As you can see, all marked up. And that's the actual push rod, modified push rod. One end is hardened, you can know that, and the other end is you can machine it if you want to make it so you can change the angle of the blade. I'll show you in a second. So that's hardened end is the lever end, not the clutch end, so we need to remember that. And the bits from here is the actual lever itself, which is a lovely piece of work. I've got a feeling I might have to take the tank and a few other bits and pieces off to get this in place, because the way it works is it pivots on an existing fixture on the actual casing, which comes on all ZX7Rs, and it's hidden behind the rather difficult to remove clutch cover, clutch slave cylinder cover. So I have that. It comes with its own cleverage pin and everything else. Also, as I showed before, I have a rather well made clutch cable that comes with it, and you see, if you look carefully, you can see that this end actually goes in there like that, hands easy. So it's that way around. The clutch pulls that and levers there against this pin and gives you the clutch movement. So the way this all fixes to the bike is via this. Now there's two parts that Dunbar do for this. They do this one, which means I can actually do it without taking the alternator out and the engine for that matter. And this basically goes, pivots on the alternator bolts there, pivots in, bolt goes back in again, and that assembly screws in there, and you've got your adjusting nut there, so you adjust the clutch up, and there's a switch now that goes on the end, and you can see that like that. You can actually operate the clutch by pulling the lever through. Very ingenious, and I'll show you. I'll do that again there for a second. And I say these are all extremely well made parts, and I think it's pretty much thanks to the resurgence in classic racing, because the ZX7R and the ZX750 are both eligible now for classic racing, as they did in the TT, the Manx GP a few weeks ago. So I think that's where it's coming from. It's giving good affordable parts, extremely high quality parts. And just to show you, if you look at the Kawasaki race kit manual section, I've just printed a couple of sections off here. You can see where that part comes from, and this part here, 14044, is what replaces this, but this allows you to keep the alternator in. You can also do it with this. It allows you to the secondary part allows you to keep the to remove the alternator and put a blank in plug. Also sold by Dunbar. He's very supportive of the ZX7R and ZXR 750 Racing. This diagram here shows that that's where the lever goes, as you can see. Is that the same? And this is the rod, as you can see through there. And again, hardened end towards a hard ball. Push it backwards and forwards. That just does that basically like that, and leave it backwards and forwards. All precision made, extremely nice bit of kit. Very glad I got it. He always seems to have them in the stock of the kits. What I'll do now, I've done this, I'll post something on how successful I am at fitting it. As I have no garage, I have to wait for the rain to stop, so that's not going to happen today. But as I've just replaced the chain with a 520 sprockets changed, sprocket set, I have the whole clutch assembly off, so it's a good opportunity to do that. The other thing was I also have managed to recycle this. This was on my ZX10, and I thought, well, what's the chance of this working? But if you take the new cable, slide it through the split nut, sorry, insert it in the lever, put it through, it actually fits. Pull the cable through, it actually fits as though it was made to. So I've got a ready-made clutch lever that'll be going on soon as well at the same time. The only thing that the documentation is a bit vague about is the cable routing, but I've managed to download a few pictures of the kit fitted bikes. I believe it goes underneath the fairing around the side of the right hand snorkel tube as you look at the front bike, as you sit on the bike. But again, I'll get around to there and I'll show you exactly how I fit that. So yes, another great bit of kit. I'd recommend this turnaround, the answer to the questions. As I say, this has not been subscribed. I purchased these parts myself. This is just me as an engineer saying the quality of these parts are built by another major engineer. He was I think he worked for McLaren. He's a graduate engineer. He's extremely good, and his passion for motorcycle racing, particularly classic, is paying dividends for the people like myself who want to buy these things to install on our road going bikes. I always prefer clutch levers, the cable clutch. I don't get the same feel from the hydraulic clutch. Well, I have my ZX7R 1400 and a couple of other bikes, and my previous ZX7R and this one as well. I just don't like the feel, so I'm going to go for that. A couple of comments I picked up on other channels and other people chatting on forums is you can get problem with expansion of the cable due to the heat from the engine. If I get that, I may wrap the cable in some heat resistant protection if that's the case. I can't imagine I'm going to get that sort of thing on the road. That's probably more something for the racetrack. There you go. I just thought I'd bring everybody up to speed what I'm doing.